It's that time of month again where I have the pleasure of going through our energy reading and astrological events for the coming month of October. So really pleased to be here in a sweater already. It's freezing cold. And I've come up with an allergic reaction, something I've eaten this weekend, so I do apologise that I have a slightly red patchy face, but nevertheless, we will go over and have a look at the cards that come up for us for the next few weeks. Okay, so let's start then by picking a charm. I'm just going to close my eyes and see what comes up for our up and coming month. So we have the dove, the bird of peace. Lovely. That's funny because I was drawn to bring down my crow, my obsidian crow today for our reading, and also my amber hedgehog. So something to do with animals today, obviously. So let's have a look. These are our reflection of nature cards. And we have awakening. Awaken that which sleeps within. Beautiful. And a peacock, another bird. Lovely. So let's have a look at our wisdom of the oracle cards. Throwing itself on the floor. Okay, and we have the fates. And the next is our native spirit oracle. Oh. So we have nature's spirits. That's beautiful, isn't it? We have sacred mountain, tribal spirit dance, and walking in beauty. Right, so let's move over to our sacred traveller cards. See what wants to come today. Leave another one in there. Something's sticking here. There it is. Okay, so we've got embracing enthusiasm. And we have uncovering treasure. And then finally, let's have a look at our tarot. Let's see what we've got here for October. Okay. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Judgment card, again with our dove here, and then we have the Son of Wands, which would be the Knight of Wands, and we have, oh beautiful, the Star card. Okay, so the overall sense I'm getting from the cards that we've just drawn is one of slight contradiction for the month ahead. So there's lots of aspects that we're going to deal with, and some are going to feel like contradictory. So we've got some where we're having to look after ourselves and then actually looking after connections. So I think that's a theme through the month to come, is this sort of duality of two things that we have to try and balance. Obviously we're in Libra season, so they're the scales, aren't they? Everything is balancing, and making sure that one side isn't being given too much or isn't receiving too much, so that we stay in that equilibrium. I was really drawn to, as I said, my little amber hedgehog today, and amber is also to do with joy and abundance, self-growth, spirituality. And then I also had the crow, which is obsidian, and that is a lot to do with protection and grounding. Both of those crystals, the amber and the obsidian, are our lower chakras, like our earthly chakras. So we've got our root, sacral, and going into our solar plexus slightly with the amber. So definitely a month to try and stay grounded. It's a very spiritual month as we get towards the end of October with Samhain. So we get into Halloween, where that veil between the physical world and spiritual world is very, very thin. So we'll get loads of signs and synchronicities. You might feel really connected at that time. So it's a real need to stay grounded through the beginning of the month and actually through that time, so that we're not, again, it's that balance. It's keeping one foot on the ground and, and our head in spirit. And the peace, the dove here, the bird of peace with the charm. I did think, it's a time for not only inner peace, but also peace externally. Again, that balance. So working on connections, working on ourselves in equal measure. So let's start with our tarot. So we had the Six of Pentacles here, and as the picture suggests, all of the seeds that you sowed have grown into these glorious fruits, and they're now ripe for picking. So that's really that's a real connection to the seasons that we're in. So that autumn season of abundance, it's harvesting. As with last month, that's rolling into the beginning of this month. And so we're being reminded to keep an eye out for things being offered to us, and accept the fruits of our labour. Keep that I'm worthy mentality, and accepting things that come in. And also there's a giving and receiving. So if you are receiving abundantly, it's trying to remember to also give in the same way. It's a reciprocal energy of give and take. And the Six of Pentacles is always a reminder of that. Maybe a windfall as well coming in of a bit more income this month, or less of an expenditure. So you may find that you're a bit better off this month. Or something unexpected came in that you didn't realise was going to come back to you this month. Or maybe a bill doesn't come out, so you end up with more of an income. We had the Judgment card, again, our gorgeous dove here. And this particular version of the card just makes me think that if there are situations that you're dealing with, it's to rise above them, stay in your inner peace, move away from the drama, keep yourself in this beautiful, rise above it. Rise above all of the darkness and drama beneath you. And it's also a call, I think, in this card for independence. You need to take time out for yourself, and that comes out throughout the reading. But there is definitely a call for prioritizing yourself through the month as well as others. Again, it's that balanced energy that I'm picking up. And 10-10, I know, it's 20, but I saw a 10-10. So if the 10th of October might be a specifically important date, or it may be relevant to some of you. Now the Son of Wands, he is our Knight of Wands, and he's often seen as the White Knight coming in to save us all. So if you're waiting to be saved, this is a card for actually standing up for yourself. You can, be ready to stand tall and save yourself. And also, if there is a white knight who appears, or a connection that appears, or a connection that you already have, it's to see through any illusions. So if there are things that it's like having the rose tinted glasses, being able to take them off and see through any illusions with this person. Are there areas that aren't all they seem? So yeah, keeping an eye out for anything that doesn't quite feel right, doesn't seem right to you. And being in that energy of independence, strength, standing up for yourself, saving yourself, doing the work for you. And if there are connections around you who are there saying they're going to save you, just check in on their intentions. Make sure that they're working for you and not for themselves, for their own energy. And we also have the beautiful star card. So always when I see the star, it's, you know, your wishes are coming true, making a wish, wish fulfillment. And so it is a real time of setting intentions and looking at your future, ways you want to move ahead, things you want to see come in, what you want to let go of. It really is sorting through. I mean, that's always a theme, isn't it, of just reassessing. But the star card asks us to stay in balance, keep shining, and do what you need to do to shine. So again, protecting your energy. And sometimes to shine, we want others around us to shine too, which it shows here in the card. There's all these other stars shining. But, you know, if you're shining brightly, it will encourage those to shine around you. So just acknowledging your effects on others. And as we talk about that balance, that duality, if you just look at the balance of the two cards, we have the darkness and light on both, but in reverse. So there definitely is a message this month that whatever you're working on, you need to work on the opposite as well. So it's not just going to be one end of the spectrum that you're needing to concentrate on. I feel like it's a month of real happiness, actually, and enthusiasm, being eager, seeing all the beauty around you. I think there's going to be lots of loving connections, changes with connections, a real sense of here. And it looks like she's speaking these changes into existence. So again, manifesting things. But I feel like where she's changing others, I feel like this is communicating to make changes within connections. So you might have the right words to say to someone in a connection, or if there are bumps along the road or things you want to talk to people about, then do so, you know, do so lovingly with good intent, and it will change, it will transform the situation, and it will bring about all this enthusiasm and joy, that you're able to start aligning yourself better with the energies around you. And again, it makes me think of our Halloween celebrations, speaking to our ancestors, often butterflies as signs and symbols that people see. So there may be more and more of that this month, that you might see butterflies, you might see feathers or hearts, or you know, visuals in clouds, however you see your signs and synchronicities. But definitely know they're messages to you, and also for you to reciprocate with those messages. You know, speak to your ancestors, your loved ones, celebrate them, and embrace it, embrace that side of yourself. We also had uncovering treasure, and again, I think this is this abundance that's coming in. I don't necessarily always just mean financial abundance. This can be your inner treasure, the things you treasure most dearly to you feel abundant right now. So if it's connections with your family, connections with your friends, it might be that you've got more time to yourself. It might be that you're feeling real love for yourself. You're in a really good place. So I think there's just more of that coming this month. It really is that inner treasure. So whatever that means to you, whatever those things are that you hold dear, they're definitely going to be in abundance this month, bountiful. Yeah, keep an eye out for your inner gems. If you don't know what they are yet, then it might be a time to have a really good look around, real introspection. Have a look around. What things about you do you treasure? What things about you do others treasure? But yeah, a really good reminder to do that inner work. And again, we have the awakening, our beautiful peacock, and our peacocks who display, and they're confident, they stand firm in the world, they stand strong, they're not afraid to shine. So that needs to be awakened within you this month, if it's not already, this ability to own your own power, to stand strong, and know who you are, and really not showing off, but show yourself, let your treasures shine. Once you've discovered them, it's your time to, just don't fear it's immodest to allow those things within you to shine out. And it says, awaken that which sleeps within you. So if there are sides of you that have laid dormant, this month the energy is going to pull them out of you. They're going to bring them to the surface. So things are going to be illuminated. You're going to feel that there is stuff that you may have tried not to look at, or sides of you that you try and keep repressed a little bit. Well, this month they're going to be pulled forward. And I think you'll deal with them well. I think you'll deal with them with confidence. You're ready to deal with them. But there will be emotions that you possibly have laid low, and they will be coming to the surface for you this month. And again, I get the blue and the green here. So it's speaking from your heart, your truth, maybe truths that you're going to need to speak this month, or you'll just feel comfortable and confident to speak them. And again, it reminds me of your this card of the lady speaking her truth, speaking up and making changes. So yeah, definitely embrace that. The blue here making me think of the throat chakra, and the green, the heart chakra, the lower heart chakra. And so yeah, in order for you to shine your brightest, it's time to have those conversations. And I don't get a sense that they're difficult or dramatic. I get a sense of the opposite, of this sort of, if you're speaking your truth and you're doing it with love, I think it will be accepted enthusiastically, and it will benefit everybody around you, whoever it is that those truths, even if it's just setting boundaries and saying, actually, I don't fancy doing it this week, or I can't do that right now. There is an element here with the fates of accepting where you are. So things might come up and they might not be ready to be dealt with yet. There's a stillness there. There's an acceptance of, that's who I am. I'm learning who I am. I accept it. And it may not be time to do all of the inner work. Some of the inner work is just learning who we are, and accepting it. And in relationships, the fates is to do with fated connections. There might be a soul connection coming in, or if you have a connection that you're already in, that may benefit from these revelations, from speaking up, from working through challenges or areas that need work on. But I feel like, yeah, these connections that are meant to be will be getting stronger, and particularly, destined connections. There will be a strengthening of them this month. There's a lot of Venus in the chart this month, which is love and connection and desire. So again, this really makes me think of the things you desire coming in, like pulling them in. So all your desires, your dreams, potentially with a partner, potentially on your own, those that are fated will be flourishing this month. They will be coming to you. You'll be like a magnet drawing them in. And yes, there might be areas of relationships that come up this month that you are working through, but it feels like a very positive change that's going to come about. Either relationships where it's toxic or not healthy will fall away, or you'll feel confident to end those. Or if it's a relationship where that's fated, that you're meant to be there, then those challenges will be overcome together, and that will strengthen that bond, and you'll find that your relationship sort of moves on to another level, or you bring back something, you regenerate something that might feel lost temporarily. So really positive card in terms of connection. And then our native spirit cards, again, this sense of time alone, time out, really connecting with nature, connecting with spirit, connecting with our soul. It's really important this month. As I said, that veil is at its thinnest, so connection will be slightly easier. So you may feel more drawn to your spiritual side, and also spirit will be more drawn to you if you're open to that. Again, the whole colour of this card makes me think of your heart, opening our heart to ourselves, potentially ourselves, potentially partners, also to nature. Really thrive out in nature. I know the weather's not always fantastic this time of year, but it is definitely a time to get out, see the abundance all around you, see the leaves letting them drop from the trees, letting go of things, and feeling the magic. You know, if you believe in fairies, get out there and see the fairies. This is a lot to do with spirit, this card, and our spirits of nature, whether that's trees, whether you believe in fairies and angels and guides, whatever that might be. Really step in and embrace it this month. Open your heart to it, allow it to happen, because as you can see, it's literally shining down on you there. I'm being told it will bring the sparkle back if you're lacking any sparkle. So Sacred Mountain. So the Sacred Mountain actually is a card of self. It's like the Hermit card. It's like the Four of Swords. It's the rest and introspection card, getting perspective on things from a new height. So time out, time alone, allow things that need to have space, let them have that pause. There's time for action, there's time for space. And as I say, some of the cards will be talking about taking action, and in other areas this month you're going to be you'll be asked to rest and relax, and rejuvenate yourself, particularly yourself. By you rejuvenating and regenerating, it will actually allow others around you to do the same. Give that space where it's needed, particularly in connection. Sometimes having space away is what actually builds a stronger connection. I'm just being told absence makes the heart grow fonder. So sometimes we just need some independence, go it alone, take some time for yourself, and then come back with all that inner strength. And then if there are challenges, if there are areas you need to face, like with the fates, you know, you've had that time, that introspection, to come back and know what you want and be able to communicate it in a way that's loving and healthy, so that you can hopefully overcome the hurdles and move on. And actually here in the card, if you can see just above the ruins, looks like Machu Picchu, doesn't it? But just above the ruins there's a flock of birds just coming, and here they are now, in our spirit dance card, tribal spirit dancer. And this is about energy rolling back in. This is about you enjoying yourself. This is a month of pleasure, of joy, connection when connection is needed, and the joy of solitude. Those two things are going to come into play this month, and you're going to have to trust your instincts of when those two things are appropriate for you. That will be different for everybody, obviously. But here the energy is coming, it's rolling in on the beach. We have this sacral energy here, this orange energy. It's sort of a very earthly confidence. It's a very feminine energy. It comes from the womb of rebirth, regrowth, regeneration. So it's not just for female gender, but feminine energy coming in, of this revival. And that sense of being free, freedom. Freedom in connection is very important. To be running along parallel with somebody and entwined beautifully, but not entangled so much that you don't have your own space, you don't have your own freedom from one another. Some people love that. Some people like to be completely, do everything together. But actually this month you're being called just to take that time for yourself when it's needed. When you think, oh, I really need some alone time, I just need to get out on my own in the woods, or wherever you like to go to feel at one with yourself, at one with nature. It is that moment to spread your wings and soar. Okay, now we have a lot of this colour energy here, this sacral energy. So it may be that you need to have a look at your energies. There's a lot of heart, sacral, and actually our third eye here. So I think they're the three main energies this month. We're looking to try and stay fairly grounded, but energized, energetic, in a nurturing, loving energy. Obviously connecting with spirit, but also that grounded. We're staying balanced. Top and bottom end are really balanced this month. Okay, so our last card is Walking in Beauty. Here we are, a gorgeous card. And again, a nature card, getting out into nature, watching the sunrise, watch the sunset. It is a medicine to me, I have to say. You know, I know it's just a beautiful thing to witness, but actually it's a rebirth every day. It's the death and rebirth, the cycle each day. And if you get to witness that, it's very beautiful. And the Walking in Beauty card, again, to me feels a bit like solitude. You know, you're going to take that time out, work on yourself, know what you want, and find the things you're craving. Because watching the sunset is something to do with a partner, isn't it? It's a very romantic thing, or connections with friends. It feels very romantic. It's really embracing those connections, embracing that sense of wonder and awe and amazement at yourself and at the world around you. And so I think this month, definitely concentrating on your sacral energy. So maybe wearing orange, any crystals of that colour, or really researching crystals for sacral energies, and then trying to keep that connection to spirit. Really tap into it, really hone into it. Those signs and synchronicities are going to be coming into you thick and fast this month, and remaining balanced. Everything in balance this month. Is going to be a give and take, but you need to be making sure that if you're giving in that area, you're receiving in that area. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed one way or the other, and really trust your instinct this month of when it's time for connection and when it's time for introspection. So there's those two sides of you that are going to need to be nourished this month, and each one is being nourished in a really positive way. So this month seems like a very positive mood. I feel like there's going to be some illusions dropping away because you're going to do that inner work. So there might be things that you're able to let go of a little bit this month, and really shine. There is a sense of shining in the card, isn't there? We've got the sun, the star. We have the sun here just sort of beaming down. The Judgment card is all about the light coming through. I feel like, you know, the treasure's lit. These two gorgeous cards with the sunrise or sunset, and again here this gleaming. So there is a real sense of wonder, of light and abundance coming in, but just remembering that balance for both sides. Okay, so let's have a look now at the astrological energies this month. Now again, I've written it down because I forget dates really, so I do apologise. So we start off in the air sign of Libra. That's our scales. So that's a very balancing energy, as I said, everything in balance. And then we leave the month in Scorpio, which is a water sign, and that's all to do with our emotions. So we're going to be very balanced, and then we're going to dip into this emotional area. So the month really is full of loving connections and balance, but also finding that independence. It's an inner harmony you're looking for, and that will just, once you've got that inner harmony, that will just flow out into those connections with you. Again, it's duality. It's releasing the toxic things and strengthening those connections that are really positive. So we've got solar eclipses this month. There's a partial lunar eclipse as well, and those both bring in sort of a need for emotional evaluation. So again, you're going to be looking at your emotions, that inner work, evaluating where you are, reassessing it. We've also got several meteor showers, and they will amplify any thoughts and your desires. So you might feel that your emotions are much more intensified, the thoughts, and particularly your desires. You're going to crave them, you're going to really want them. So there's going to be this strong desire to achieve things this month emotionally. Also expect serendipity. So you'll be attracting soulmates, soul connections to you. Sign synchronicities, as we said in the reading, really strong this month. So we start October with the new moon solar eclipse. So they're on the same day. So we have the solar eclipse and then this beautiful new moon on the 2nd. So a real chance to let go of the past, and then focus on the new things, the new intentions. If there's new routines you want to bring in, that is the moment for you to start thinking about them. Now they will be intensified because of the eclipse. So really think about what you want in the next chapters of your life. How's this book playing out? And start setting those intentions for the life you want. On the 5th of October, the moon is in conjunction with Venus. So Venus is is also of love and connection. And that came into Scorpio, I think the 22nd of September. So it remains there right round until the 17th of October. And that is going to bring intimacy and connection, as we've said, really deep connection. So you're going to experience a much heightened sense of emotions and connection here. And then on the 12th, we have a comet called Atlas. And Atlas is going to be quite close to the Earth. And this will accelerate change. So if there are things in your life that you've been wanting to change, areas where you want to make differences, where you want to have transformation, that will be accelerated. So it will be coming in much quicker. That energy will speed up for you. So if there are areas of change, start putting them into place. And then by the 12th there, you're going to feel it really picking up momentum. So that change is coming. And the next day, the 13th, Mercury moves into Scorpio energy. And so Mercury is also of our communication, and it's direct. So this makes our communication direct and very intense. So you might find yourself having quite deep conversations with people. This might be where we're having to speak our truths a little bit, or people might start telling you, areas where they're finding challenges, or if, with connections, you might find that you're having those discussions. I don't feel that they're going to be heated, but I feel they're going to be quite intense, quite deep. So the middle of the month then, this is our period where we're looking more for our independence. We're going it alone. We're going into hermit energy. We're doing that introspection that we talked about. There might be a time for making quick decisions at this point. So that's another reason why it's really important that you are aware of your desires, where are your wants, what don't you want, for those quick decisions. So it may be that there's no time for procrastination, that you literally have to make that yes or no decision. It's a time, again, because you're taking that time out, where you might start reinforcing some boundaries that you feel have slipped a little bit with certain people. And so it will improve your connections. And for those that are toxic and shouldn't be there, they'll just peter out, they will disappear. And by the middle of the month there, your desires are going to be peaking. So the things you really want, those cravings, that could be anything from food to people, to connections, or the things that you are trying to bring in, that desire for them is going to be huge by the middle of the month, which is perfect because it coincides with our next full moon, which is the 17th of October. And that is another supermoon. It's our hunter's moon. And it's also a partial eclipse that day. So it's a full supermoon in Aries, and it's going to lead you to take control of your emotions. So again, it feels like the month is building up in stages, these beautiful connections, things dropping away that aren't necessary. We're going to take that time out on our own, this introspection. We might start having some intense conversations with people, and then we're going to get hold of our emotions and start really protecting our own well-being. What do we want? What don't we want? Where are we? Who's the best people to bring that in, and who can we let go? What habits can we let go of? What thoughts, feelings do we need to start bringing in, and what ones do we need to start ignoring or working through? So we're going to be coming into our own personal power there. That's really key. And I feel like that is this standing proud, stand tall, our peacock energy, this moment where we are taking control, and we're going to complete tasks that we started last month, and then we will be resolving anything that was left that wasn't completed. Okay. Now by the 22nd we shift into Scorpio, so our sun moves into Scorpio, and we're being drawn to focus our attention on our challenges. We're looking at our shadow work, and we'll be drawn to work on our dark side, if you like. It's also a time where truths are going to be revealed and hidden aspects of yourself are going to come through. So again, it's this awakening, I think. Awaken what sleeps within. So this is that period towards the end of the month. So those hidden aspects are going to start to surface. They'll only surface when they're ready to be dealt with. So don't think, oh gosh, I'm going to become completely overwhelmed, I'm not ready for this. They're just going to start coming to the surface, and you'll start to be aware of them, you're noticing them. And it may just be that you just become aware of them, or it may be that you feel ready to work through them. And again, that will be different for everybody. And then by the end of the month, we're delving into that psychic and spiritual realms, as that veil is getting much thinner. Our energy is at a peak. We are full of enthusiasm. We're full of joy. We're reveling in, we feel social. We feel we want to get out and do things with people on our own. It's a really busy time, but one full of energy, and you just want to get out, vitality. And that energy is going to enable you to bring focus to the things you want to get done. So there'll be tasks that you think, I've just set them, that's what I want to do, I want to move on to this next chapter, and then you're going to start working through your to-do list. Just be aware, because you're going to be really energized, not to become overwhelmed. Don't take on too much. Take on one step at a time and work through it sort of logically, and then you'll be able to take each step of the process in turn, so that you don't suddenly feel swamped and you have too much, you don't bite off more than you can chew. And then by the end of the month, 31st, Halloween, all those signs and synchronicities are going to be coming thick and fast by the end of the month, as we go in to celebrate our ancestors, celebrating ourselves, connection with spirit. It's a real time to look at your own birth, death and rebirth. So things you're letting go of, things you're bringing in, really assess it, really work on it spiritually. I really feel like this is that moment. Go out in nature, wherever you feel connected. It might be the beach, it might be the woodlands, it might just be in your own room, wherever you feel most connected to your soul, and look at, what do I want to let go of? What do I want to birth within me? What's waiting to come up? These things are going to be rising. Spirit are going to be there guiding you. So it's a real moment to connect with your spirit guides. Look at areas where you do want to make changes. What do you want to bring in? And then, just any celebrations for abundance, just to be grateful. It's a real time for gratitude, appreciation, which then sows the seeds for the months ahead. We're always planting new seeds for our growth and our abundance to come. So look at the things that you're prepared to put the work into. Look at your end goal and what are you prepared to do to get there. This is the perfect time at the end of October. Really tap into your spirit guides and your soul for your purpose, and then start making steps to get there. So that is our energy and our astrology for the coming month. Real connection with spirit, which is lovely. I love this time of year. Just feeling connected constantly. Really take the time to look for it if it's needed. If you feel that there's been a blockage maybe of spirit, or you're finding it tricky to connect at this point, utilize this month, utilize this energy of connection, really connect with yourself, find that inner balance of, love yourself, love those around you, bring that into balance, and then really connect back to your soul, your spirit and your guides, even calling in your ancestors for support if you need it. That's what they're there for. And this great bounty is awaiting you this month. So enjoy it, get out there, you know, throw your arms in the air, go for a lovely tribal dance. You might want to get out and do some sound bathing or sound healing of some sort. This really is a month, if you're looking for workshops and things, for coming together with communities so that your individual energy is being healed, but that is through connection. So it's, again, that balance, heal yourself and others through connection. So if you are drawn to ceremonies, you know, cacao, fire, drumming, any of those things, have a look at all the different workshops that we're running, and then bring yourself into them, bring yourself into alignment, into balance. And definitely this month you're being asked to stay centered, stay grounded, because there's a lot of spirit connections going on. So stay rooted, grounded, and allow yourself to open up to spirit. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you're looking for any clarity or you have any questions, then obviously just pop it into a message or into the comments below. And I look forward to hearing all about your months ahead. Take care.